taking on Zimbabwe, whose 15-a-side team has qualified for the 2027 World Cup. And this is going to be a tough one. The home side looking to get themselves into the finals. They are the defending champions of Shujaa. King George Oro goes into contact there, survives the contact and creates a platform for backline to attack. Sati with a pass that goes out to Patrick Odongo, the speed star. This one is gonna go all the way, cleans out Edward Sigauke from Zimbabwe. Player for the big moments, Oscar. He's been quiet throughout the whole tournament. Of confidence, one of the fastest in that setup. As you look there, just looked at Sigauke and told him, let's go. And that acceleration leaves Sigauke pumping and huffing and trying to cut out the angle for Patrick Odongo. Kenya on board. Close quarter combats. We'll expect Zimbabwe to front up very well against Kenya. But across the rank and file, the 7 players, Kenya just with more pace, man to man. That doesn't count much if you do not have ball. And Festus Shiasi bumps through that gap, pins his ears, going all the way for another try for the local lads. Shujaa, fast-faced ball, Oscar, and Zimbabwe caught in 6s and 7s.
Positive laps there from Zimbabwe.
Ideally, it was one-on-one.
Yes,
we'll just wait for the replay to see how he manufactured that gap.
As he was getting the ball, he sort of showed some good proprioception awareness there because he was in the air. And then, but when he was coming down, he checked direction already. Then when his mind was in the air, going towards the eastern side of the stadium, and then he suspended his ball.
Carlos Matematema, who was tracking in the inside defense. Then Festus Shiasi going all the way.
Yeah, that was a poor defense there from Carlos. Play here from Zim, they're playing very well, using the power, and Kenya had one man down in defense. They're not using the pace, they're using power. Here we go, look at that, taking 2 men on. Good contest there from Kenya in the ruck, but still just overreaching.
Quick tap and go from Carlos Matematema, stepping again and going over to score. He was always the instigator. He has been that for Zimbabwe throughout the tournament this year and last year. He has dancing shoes on, danced his way into the try box there.
It's a really good step of Matematema, but take nothing away from the rest of the team. The other 6 who did a really good build-up. Not using pace, but they're using power and explosive power to be precise. They're actually picking the ball to the fringes. Took about 2 players to bring, I think it was Noel down, and then again Matematema just picked up from the same space because the 2 players on the floor. Use his feet there. They're still defenders. There we go, picks it from the scrum. Nyayo just getting back. That just steps. And those are not.
Oh, fantastic play there from Carlos Matematema.
It's 3 players actually.
Indeed, and with a successful, the Shujaas put a sounded there to stop this first half. The referee says it's a good contest and looks like a yellow card. Patrick Odongo gets the marching orders for 2 minutes, falling over and sealing the contest there, and quick off the blocks for Zimbabwe, looking to finish this first half strongly. They have numbers out wide. This looks like it's going to be a try. Indeed it is. Edward Sigauke gets his name onto the scoreboard and pulling ahead of the local side Shujaa.
Took on Patrick Odongo. He knew he couldn't beat him for pace, but I think he feels he can match him in power. And he's done well a couple of times here to bring the ball back.
They have faded off in a few of those matches earlier on, but the stakes are high. An opportunity to be in the finals is what they are gunning for. Kevin Wekesa going for that jackal, but Zimbabwe survive it. Then they shift. Story of the first half, they denied Kenya possession, and they are good in the contact areas, quite strong, well conditioned. Look at that pass, 20 meters or so, ensuring that the Kenya defense remains on the chicken wing pass, opens up the gap. Nigel Amaitsa not fast enough to cover that space, and Trevor Kurwe goes over for another try for Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe now really putting Shujaa to the sword here.
All the Zimbabwe tries, he carries the ball really, really well in two hands. Does show on both sides, brings from his opponent. Just watch that, he takes the ball all the way up there to Asati, steps off his foot, then chicken wing pass on the inside, and it's try time there for the Zimbabwe Cheetahs.
And for me, Oscar, that comes from that long pass, 20-meter gap, and they're in their red zone, having to work all of 75 meters. Crisanto Jong carrying it in, that player not rolling away from Zimbabwe, costing them a penalty and a yellow card. That is the break that Shujaa needed. Put in, and Nigel Mesa goes on a dummy run on the shorter side, opening up space for Patrick Odongo. If he can get the ball early enough, he has space, but he's covered and comes back in, straightens, and he needs this ball to be quick. Coming on the shorter side is King George Oro, and scrambles his way through, kicking and going without his left boot, going to score and pull Kenya in. They still have another try to be scored. Somebody lost his boot here.
Oro himself lost his boot.
Yeah, just scrambled, working from the ground there, but always going to need 2 tries. As you see there, George Oro going all the way to the floor, and then kicks out of that tackle, loses his left boot, but he didn't even notice. Was Kenya Shujaa needed that try.
They needed the try and they needed the conversion.
Yeah, Manyakara still on the scene being chair, so Kenya still have an opportunity with 7 against 6 to get to the lead, and they have to use it. Any break in play here, and Manyakara will be back, and they'll be to a full complement of 7v6. The ball is moved out to the left. Onyala gives it on a cut back into the try scorer, George Oro. They have to reset here. Big hit, takes him back 1-2 meters. Then referee penalizes Zimbabwe for using hand grab. No tweeting. He should have taken a scrum if you think. Kevin Okesa going into the heart of defense for Zim. And then they have players on the offside, this other side. But Nigel Amaitsa goes into that gap and scores another try that puts them ahead by 1 point. Shujaa up.
But to be fair to him, he did keep that possession. George just running out of defenders. And it was important for that try to be scored under the post. So 2 minutes to go. There's a lot of rugby still to be played here.
That score that time very well. Go through the faces, retain possession, then wait for the hooter. And if an opportunity arises to score, they should take it. Early shove by the forwards from Zimbabwe. Referee Harry giving Asati the hurry up to take that free kick. That pass from Onyala just brings problem. Floyd Obure, first touch of the ball from the bench, does well to retain possession in contact. Sketi puts it out wide. Onyala with a proper pass this time round. Asati to Wekesa to King George Oro. Oro now sizing up his opponents, goes to deck. Good recycling, coming in on a short line. And Onyala finishes this off for Shujaa. No defender was tracking that run. He came in on a short line and strolls into the try box.
Yeah, it was a wonderful. The Kenya co-captain. Zimbabwe didn't defend that back area very well, and there was a lot of gaps in that space.